Hello, everybody. I'm Matthew Brune here with Colin Mitchell, and welcome to the Green Room podcast. Colin, I don't know if we have apologizing to do or how we're going to do this exactly, but I think it's a pretty interesting situation we're in now, where KD Davis entered the transfer portal. Right, we did a podcast after that. He went and visited Texas A&M and Ole Miss, according to 24/7 Sports. He comes back and then withdraws his name from the transfer portal, and is going to return to North Texas this year.
Yep.
I have two theories.
Okay. Let's
Do
hear
you
these
have a
theories.
theory? You want to hear my theories first?
Yeah, let's hear yours.
All right, first, the North Texas NIL collective. We're not giving enough credit to it. Someone ponied up for KD Davis.
Okay.
KD Davis got the bag. All right, that's the first theory.
Can I wait? Quick follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Is KD Davis worth the bag?
The demand was so high. I think he was.
Okay.
And we said last podcast we had our reservations about his importance on the defense, with the defensive line
Right.
being so good last year. But I think, yes, in theory, because like I said, I don't know if he got the bag. I'm just joking, half of it. But I think he's worth the bag. So
right.
That's
Yeah.
the first theory.
Yeah.
The UNT NIL collective came together and said, we cannot let this happen. KD Davis, what will it take to keep you? And they made a deal. All right, that's the first theory. The second theory is my favorite. KD Davis listened to our podcast and said, "Oh, these guys don't think I was that important, huh? All right, I'm gonna come back and show them." That's my second theory.
But wouldn't it make more sense to go to a bigger school and do better at that bigger school?
Maybe. I haven't fully thought this out, but we would be talking about him a lot more, obviously, if he did at North Texas. So then he would really be showing us up. You know what I mean? Like we would have to talk about him. Like if he ends the game with 25 tackles, we're leading with KD Davis. If he does that at Ole Miss, we don't care. You know what I mean? You got to get in the minds of these athletes.
So you think you
4, 3?
Oh,
which
is
is
the
actually
third one
tied into 1. 3 is tied into 1.
Okay.
He held North Texas. He held them hostage. He held North Texas hostage, and said, "I will leave if I don't get this NIL deal."
Yeah, I need this bag. Damn it!
Give me a commercial right now.
You want to hear my theory? It's a lot less
conspiracy-esque.
TV. You know, it's a lot less TV. Maybe he just wasn't good enough to go anywhere else.
Oh man, we're just adding.
No. I mean, he visited Texas A&M, right? Maybe he didn't like his role. Simple as that. It could have been a situation where he wanted to go to, like, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, UNT is in a weird spot where they're a mid-major and they're not really a high mid-major. But if you go to another mid-major for a bigger role, you're going to be a step down. And then if you go to a bigger school, it's going to have to be a jump, right? Like you're not going to want to make a lateral move if you're in KD Davis's situation, but you're also not going to want to move down, for example, to another Conference USA school or a school that doesn't play as big of opponents. Or not even that. If there was a school on par, you can name whatever school you want to, having to travel a distance and then having to reacclimate yourself for your last year. And then you're way more betting on yourself than you are just going to like an A&M or whatever else. You're losing a lot of the risk reward there.
And obviously, like KD Davis, like we said, is a good player. There's no questioning he's a good player. Now, would I say he's a starter level at A&M? Typically, I would not say that personally.
Right.
Like A&M, if they're clicking, it has very, very good players, like high 4-star, 5-star type guys. KD Davis is 6 foot tall, not that imposing of a linebacker really. So I was like, maybe do they play him at outside? Do they throw him at nickel? Like I didn't really have a vision for where A&M would use him. Ole Miss, maybe they don't have quite the talent level that A&M has. The Ole Miss one kind of made sense, but like Texas A&M, and so that goes to your point. It's like maybe he got there and it's like, well, obviously they weren't going to guarantee him playing time. I don't think. I don't think they're going to be like, you come in, you're the starter. I just don't think. If they have too many mouths to feed,
right?
These programs, like they have way too many mouths to feed.
If he goes there, they're going to say KD Davis, who has 1 year left, or 4-star recruit will lose you if we say KD Davis is going to play. It's exactly that, like you said.
Yeah. So it's just it's just a really interesting situation. I'm glad he came back though.
Oh yeah,
However it worked out, whether my conspiracies were right, whether you're right, whatever happened, maybe he just didn't want to. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to leave Texas. I don't know. And obviously Texas A&M is right there, but still, it's completely different level than North Texas. I don't know. I don't know what the situation. Maybe he got on the phone with Seth and Phil Bennett, and they were like, "Hey man, come on, let's just work this out. We don't need to do this. We can work this out." And so, however it happened, they get Katie Davis back, and in the big picture, I stand by everything that I said last podcast. However, I think the one area where I think Katie Davis brings his most value is from a leadership perspective, and to
yeah.
you that fifth year senior at the linebacker position. And while I think Kevin Wood and Larry Nixon are very good, and Jordan Brown's very good, you have Katie Davis, who now will be entering his third year as a full-time starter at that position. So, from a leadership standpoint, from a continuity standpoint, I think that's a pretty big deal, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's he's a good player. I don't want last podcast to be a situation where we think that he shouldn't have been on the team or that he's 1A 1B in terms of whoever's under him. I mean, obviously he's the best linebacker in the room there. It's just we were stressing the importance that the D line played over the linebackers. So obviously he comes back. You're having a better player on the team. It's going to make your team better. And then obviously, like you said, leadership and all that. So it's a good thing he stayed because, like you said, everyone else hasn't had the experience that he's had. It's just like you said, a weird situation. Why decide to leave way late? What was it? 3 days ago?
Yeah,
2 days,
basically
3 days ago,
Thursday, Friday,
and then
whenever it was.
turn right back around. Here we are, baby.
I like my conspiracy theories, man.
They are pretty good. I mean,
I don't know what
when
to
you
say.
think about it, it was right after the podcast came out.
I try to take as much credit as humanly possible with North Texas. I
Why
mean,
not?
if y'all don't know that at this point, I mean, that's really all I do. From the basketball team winning an NCAA tournament game to Katie Davis returning. I mean,
I hate you
it's
so
me.
much.
It's
I
us.
hate you so.
We've done this.
We should put a billboard or like a list under our names that say the players affected, and it's like
Come be the next player to get motivation from the Green Room podcast. First Javion Hamlet, then Katie Davis. Who's next with the an outline,
yeah, who's
It's
next?
question
Yeah,
mark.
that's our NIL deal. It's just talking trash.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. And we're the only people that critique North Texas. So it's
Yeah, the only.
them.
Never. Yeah, exactly.
Our pictures are going to be hanging up on the locker room. Since we took a year off, they might have forgotten about us, but here we are.
We had to come back with vengeance.
Exactly. After last podcast, you trying to fire everybody already. So here we are.
Wow.
Anything else on KD?
I don't think so. I mean, like you said before this, it was a pretty quick podcast. It was a surprise. I think it's catching everyone off guard, the fact that he left and he came back. So, I mean, I'm glad he's back. Like you said, we'll just have to see how it plays out because obviously there was some type of situation that made him want to leave because players aren't just leaving on purpose late. So hopefully everything works out from a team perspective. But
and not just that, he put out a statement on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this.
I didn't see the
see it
statement,
until
no.
today. He actually deleted it now. But
Oh, okay.
there was a whole letter right here that said Katie out or something like that. Shark, I don't know what it was, but it was a whole letter. Like this wasn't just a whim.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like within 3 days, you put the entire team in a situation where you're not there, and then you have to come back and regain the trust. And I'm not sure, like I said, the dynamic of the locker room or what everyone knows or doesn't know. But it's still something you have to deal with, right? As the leader, as presumably a captain, you have to, deal with. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's like that movie.
There were players tweeting about stepping up. They're like, all right,
yeah,
step up.
yeah. It's like that movie we watched the other night.
The
longest yard. Adam Sandler goes out to throw the game. Whole team turns on him. He comes back in. He gets he gets a little wrecked there, and then he has to win him back. So not quite the same situation, but but a good analogy, I think.
That is amazing. I'm just going through his Twitter. I mean, again, all these people quoted his tweet. All these players: Jay Macklin, Rod Burns. Who is this? Lauren Easley?
I think. I can't. Is Enoch Jackson? Is that how you say his name?
Enoch Jackson's one.
Yeah,
one of the players who tweeted.
He says next man up. Yeah.
Okay, he quoted it with a laughing emoji. I'm just seeing all this. Look at this. Check your Twitter.
Check my Twitter, okay. But this is what I'm saying. It's you sent it to me?
I never know which Twitter is yours. There you go. I sent it to one. I think I sent it to the right one.
I only have one Twitter.
You definitely.
Are you trying to accuse me of having a burner? That's crazy.
Travian Brown tweeted, "OMG, what happened, KD?" And he, like, this is just the weirdest.
Oh no! And then if you look at the replies of that tweet you sent me,
yeah,
they're getting salty.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Everyone saw this, so I don't think it's going to be a non-issue. But it's comedic in the fact that it happened so late, and then you go back on it 2-3 days later after talking all the trash and having other players talk trash back to you. So there has to be some type of come to Jesus moment within the team in order for him to have that same allure to him in terms of being a leader. So I didn't know about any of these tweets. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
I want him to quote this podcast.
Do it.
Laughing emojis.
I think every player.
Katie, come on the podcast. We had him on like 3 years ago.
It was great. 2 years ago.
2 years ago? I don't remember how long.
He was great.
But yeah, shout out Katie Davis, man, the Shark, one of the best players on North Texas. Probably the best player on the defense if I had to put a name to that now.
Yeah.
Gonna be all conference first team. Gonna be was all American on Athlon. I mean, he's a great player. Excited to have him back. Excited to watch him help this North Texas defense continue what it built last year. So I'll end it on a positive note there. And yeah, that's all we got for y'all today. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, go over to our YouTube and just click subscribe. It's free. It's easy.
Facebook as well.
Oh yeah, we have a new out.
I can't point. There we go.
On YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can follow us on Facebook right there.
Yeah. Spotify
over there. And there's our Twitter handles at the bottom right there. So
look at that. I gotta get better at the pointing thing. Facebook's brand new. But that'll be where all of for those who don't like Twitter, the Twitter posts and everything will also be on Facebook.
You want me to get my cat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maya kind of is giving everyone the death stare in the background. There we go.
There she is. There she is.
Looks terrified. Like, what is happening?
You're just sitting here in the chair.
Yeah.
All right. That's all we got for y'all today. We hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and we'll talk to y'all later.